Brian is our thought.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right. So Brian is our thoughts judge this morning. So get ready with your thoughts of the day. And I want to do a little bit different this morning. Before you give your thought, I want you to think, if you were Batman, who in the group right now would you like to add as Robin?
No, I've got another one going now. Why?
All right. Who would your Robin
Go
be?
through it and I'll grab the phone. Put it out there.
Now, Alex Eason was our first one. However, he is running late, so we're going to miss him. And we're going to go straight to Anne. So, Anne, could you please lead us off with your Robin and your thoughts of the day?
Yeah, I think for my Robin, I'll choose Elon Musk. And my thought for the day is misery is contagious.
Okay,
So
we'll
is
fix it.
faith. So is joy. So what are people catching from you?
Excellent.
Very good.
A thought is for Catherine. Are you there, Catherine?
Hey, thank you, Charlie. And my Robin today is Wal Beckett. And so this is from Christopher Reeve, which is a bit weird given that I'm Batman. But so many of our dreams seem at first impossible, then improbable. Then when we summon the will, they become inevitable.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
You there? Harry,
Yes,
are you there? It's your turn.
I'm here. Yes, is it my turn?
Yes, it's
Okay,
your-
so my Robin would be Sting, my favourite musician. And my thought of the day would be, you've got to be before you can do and before you can have.
That's very
Thank
good.
Good. I to acknowledge our guest speaker this morning and all the confusion. So, good morning, Colin. Please, everybody, welcome Colin Bockman.
Hey, Colin.
And your thought later as well, Colin. Harvey Mike with us. Ian Harvey's not with us. Jenny Cartwright's not with us. Jeremy Britton's not with us. Gillian Heckler, your turn.
Oh, good morning. My Batman would be Roger Federer, being a good tennis person. And my quote for today is, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Lee Wagner's not here. Lauren Clark is not here. Margaret Ash.
Okay, well, my Robin will be Brian Houpt, playing right to the to the referee this morning. And
Dirty poo.
what was that?
Dirty poo.
Yeah. And
All's fair in thought, Judge, bribing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And my thought for the day is from Michael Jordan, who said, "I never lost a game. I just ran out of time."
That's a good one.
Good one.
Oh,
That's very
Mark,
good.
you're up.
Good morning, Charlie. My Robin actually is a New Zealand runner. Unfortunately, I never got to find out his name. He was an Olympic champion, and by watching him many years ago in the Olympics, he taught me how to run and give the tactics of how to win the mile race. So I take my hat off to that particular guy, who regrettably is nameless.
John Walker, wasn't it? John Walker or Peter Snell?
No,
Harry Hilbert.
Peter Snell.
Well, that buggered that up, didn't it?
Somebody Google it while Mark is talking.
My thought for the day, life is short, and no matter how old you get to be, you never see the same day twice.
Yeah. Yo.
Good one.
Good one.
Now, Paddy Sweeney, you're up, mate.
Oh, g'day, mate. My Batman, my Robin would be my old mate from Matakau or Matakino or Matamata, Rob Mahari. Okay, Rob, you're there with my wingman. Okay, and you'll understand this, Rob. Blessed art those who laugh at themselves, for they'll never be short of stuff to laugh about.
For sure.
Susan Cutworth, please.
Okay, all right. Well, from Auckland Achievers. So Rod, there is another Kiwi on today. I think I missed the Batman and Robin thing. Is the Batman meant to be our hero or something like that, is it? Or the Robin?
You're Batman.
Who's your
Robin's your
wingman?
partner in crime.
Okay, well, I'm going to go for Elon Musk because he's in the news right now, and I would love to be able to go to Mars. I'd absolutely love to go to the moon. So my thought for today is a quote from Dolly Parton. The way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And hello to the thoughts judge this morning. Yes. greetings.
Director Sylvia Morris.
Hello, everybody. Yes, I think my Robin would be a girlfriend of mine who I coached, who had very little self-esteem about her own work, and her work is beautiful, but she just didn't know it. And she has my back now all the time. She's just amazing. I've created a really nice monster. Anyway, that's her name's Charlotte. And so my thought of the day is be kind to everybody you meet. All are fighting a battle you know nothing about.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Very good.
Walter, Mr. Swap, Walter Vecchiet.
Good morning, everybody. Well, my Robin would be Tuke Miller, one of Sun's best footballers.
Yeah.
My thought for the day is, if you don't ask, you don't get. But if you do, you do.
Thanks,
At least you got a better chance.
Colin, would you have a thought of the day for us this morning?
Mine's pretty simple. I wake up with every morning the same thing. Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Yes. Thank you. Yvonne and Colin.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. So my Robin would be Dean Collier. No surprises there. And my thought is there are hundreds of languages around the world, and a smile speaks them all.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Very nice.
Brian, do you want to give your thought, or do you want to wait until you do the judging?
Because you can't win, Brian.
Are you there?
I'll wait till the end. Win.
Oh,
You want to?
I can be. I'm the judge.
Have you drive?
Well, what's your thought of the day then, Brian?
I'm unmuted. Okay, sweet. I've got the yes. I've even got a prize here.
Excellent.
Yep. Let me see. I would go with good old gunslinger himself, John Wayne.
Ah.
He was fast with the pistol, so he'd be on my side. My quote for the morning is going by experience with a supervisor from the woodshop who departed this world at the age of 53 by his own choice. A cluttered house or a cluttered place where you work is also a cluttered mind.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. Have I missed anybody?
Me.
Jenny's just joined us.
Yes.
Sorry I'm late. I've got COVID, so I can't hardly talk. But I've got a thought for the day. There are 3 things to leave behind: your photos, your library, and your personal journals. These things are certainly going to be more valuable to future generations than your furniture.
Hey.
Yes.
Anybody else have I missed? Am I the last one? Sounds like. Oh,
Rod.
Rhonda. I miss Rhonda.
You
Go on,
did.
Rhonda.
You miss Rod too.
Oh, and Rod. Oh, Rod's not on my list. All right, Rhonda, go on.
I think I'd pick as my Robin, Margaret Ash. I think she'd be a good sidekick.
Thanks, Rhonda.
And my thought of the day, I am Rhonda Buttery. And my thought of the day is accept what is, let go of what was, and believe what will be.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. Right, Rod, you're up.
Righto. My Robin is my partner, Raywin, because I need her because I can't spell. So
You want me to not send this to her?
and my thought for the day is one that I heard many years ago that set me alight by Paul Dunn. And it was,
Yes, we do.
when your service is truly awesome, you'll get so filthy rich, you'll buy new bags to take all the money home.
Opened and I don't have my computer up.
And Paddy Sweeney, he always gets in the way.
It's all right, he's muted now.
All right. You want to repeat that?
Yeah, I will. It's from Paul Dunn. When your service is truly awesome, you'll get so filthy rich, you'll have to buy new bags to carry all the money home.
Yeah. Anybody else? Am I last?
Has Anne Carlton joined us?
And yes, was the first. All right. Good morning, swappers.
Anne's dropped out. Anne's not here at the moment.
Okay.
Good morning, swappers and any future swappers. My name is Charlie Nichols, co-host of the Lau Lake House, and I have many Batmans. The whole committee is a Batman, and I think we should all say thank you to the committee because they do a wonderful job. My thought for this morning is, if you want to be successful in life, just follow the advice you give others.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Good one, Charlie.
All right, folks. 2 minutes to get yourself a cup of coffee, and then we're going to come back with 3 wins of the day and our thoughts judge, and then our 5-minute speaker. All right. So the coffee, you've got 2 minutes. And you can network as well.
Oh, Anne's back.
And so you can keep on talking.
Hi, Jenny.
Jill, hi, how are you?
Oh, you're sick. That's not like you to get sick.
I haven't been sick for years, and then just last night, I thought I just suddenly came with a high temperature and everything, and then I took a rat test, and yes, for sure, it's positive. And Simon has had very, very bad flu the last 3 days, but I think it's COVID too. But his rat test proved negative, so.
Oh, help.
So I'm going off to go and get a test, but it's really good. It's a win because we're going overseas in June to Sicily, and that means I'll have immunity for 3 months.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah.
I won't have to worry about mixing with too many people over there.
Jenny, you know, I had COVID about 1.5 years ago, and a year ago I got tested for the antibodies, and so that came back positive, and I had the antibodies. I just had another annual physical done, and I had them test again, and the antibodies are still good 18 months later.
Wow, fantastic. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes, a lot better than the vaccines are producing at this time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, Jenny, I've got to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've got a meeting at way down the road, so I've got to leave early. But hey, I'll be in touch anyway.
Okay, all right.
Bye, everyone.
See you, Gillian. Bye.
Bye, Julian.
Bye.
Bye for now.
So Charlie, are you in Laos now?
Yes.
As I said, I'm away from home, and I will call you next week.
It's
Okay, thank you.
So I'm sorry I had to take a call, but who won the thought of the day?
we haven't.
We'll start with them again.
Oh,
So that's going to come. So we'll bring the meeting back to order. Has anybody got any wins of the week before we do our thoughts? Yes, Yvonne.
I'm now over 100 top tip clips on my YouTube channel. So it's been 2 years, and we're still going. And it's really good because it's raising visibility. But they're only like little 1-minute clips of communication tips. So if I may, I mean, it's Yvonne's top tip clips. It's so easy. But if I may, I'll just put it in the chat.
Yeah, do so.
And then anybody can just click.
Any information you want to share with the rest of the group, please just put it in. Anybody else got a win of the week? I know Walter hasn't because Colin would be. But anybody else? Yes.
I have
Sylvia.
Charlie.
Sylvia.
I forgot to say when I was giving my thought of the day that I'm the creator of the Brisbane Artisan Expo, and I've just secured the venue for November. We weren't even sure if we were going to have one this year. But yes, I've secured a venue and can't tell you where it is right now because we're still negotiating the date. So once I've got that, I'll blurt it out. Yeah, so that's really good.
Do we have one more win?
Yeah. Finally,
Yes.
I've been trying to get logos created for a new Facebook page I've got going. It's Blind Timber Creations. And the logos come through this morning, so I've sent them off to my VA. She sent them off to me, I should say. And I got tips from a blind man, another Facebook page, which I don't advertise, don't market, except on the local pages around here, and it's gone up to 160 likes, 170 likes, and that's not paying for any promotion there. I throw a tip up each week.
That's great, Brian.
That's cool. Yeah, people love it.
Well, one more.
Catherine had one. She was next.
Thank you. I'm really excited about mine. I have a 5-year-old grandson, and we're not allowed to put his face or anything on Facebook because that's the parents' decision. But my son Casper, Halen, just won a badge in his grade prep, whatever he is, he's 5, for public speaking.
Oh, wow.
Oh, where did you get that from?
Really good.
Very good.
That is good.
He's very
Gets it from his grandma.
well, you know, that hasn't been acknowledged because that's another story. It doesn't matter. But I'm so proud of him. He's so cute. And he got elected. One more thing, he got, because you know, grandmas are a pain in the ass. He got elected class captain on his 2 policies. The first policy was we have to stop gummy bears in the tuck shop. And the other policy was, and we all have to respect each other.
Oh, very good.
Very good.
Nice.
So if that's come through his father, I'm very proud.
Yeah.
Very
Great.
cool.
Anne, did you have a win of the week?
Yes, not this last week, but this coming week, I graduate from my 3rd year at Charis Bible College in the leadership school. So I'm excited about that.
Wow.
Big transition.
Great.
Gee, good for you,
Yeah.
Anne.
So let's move to Brian. Now, Brian is going to announce his winner.
But I'm still unmuted, which is good. Okay, we had a good amount of Robin people who I went for the Robin, and Musk was a key one on top of my list because I like the way he thinks and what he does and how he achieves things. It was pretty good. Then you may hear my computer, and I don't apologise for that. There was Christopher Reeve as well, and he was a Superman, so I think he's a good choice. A few ethical choices there. Sports, I did like the sports because a lot of teams were starting to show improvement toward the end of the game, but then they lost because the game, as was mentioned, wasn't quite long enough. But Julian was sports, yeah. Margaret. Yeah, not seeing the same day twice was a good one, because today sun does get up tomorrow, so no matter how bad today was, tomorrow will still be around. Good laughing ones. Right. But I did say I was open for bribes. And I believe Margaret Ash, she gave the best bribe of all. Hey, Margaret.
Thanks, Brian. Thank you.
You're the winner.
Margaret,
Oh,
feature.
great.
Would you like to repeat the thought, please?
Yes, it's from Michael Jordan, who said, "I've never lost a game. I just ran out of time."
Very good.
Like he's thinking.
Your spark is in the virtual mail. All right. So.
Thank you,
and Charlie wants 10%.
Okay. Good.
All right. Now, we're just going, before we have our 5-minute speaker, I'd like to just quickly call on Sylvia to maybe give us an update on our next event.
Oh, thank you, Charlie. Our next event is going to be Christmas in July, on the 17th of July. It's a Sunday, down at Cascade Gardens down at Broadbeach. So I'm happy to say that the people that I did get through to, I think we've got 19 at the moment. I've left messages for Wal and a few other people, and I'm sure they'll get back to me. So yeah, I think we'll end up with, I don't know, maybe around 25 or 30 people.
Oh, great.
So it's coming along good. It's fully catered for. Rhonda, I will today, I've earmarked today to send you out the blurb, and Rhonda does her magic and puts pictures to what I send her, and then she'll send it out to everybody for to actually click on to say that they're coming and pay their $49. So it's all the lunch is completely catered for. Just bring your own alcohol. And I have it on great authority that Santa's going to visit.
Oh.
So we really are going to have a Christmas in July. So there you go. Thank you, Charlie.
You booked me in because I'm going to be in Australia about the 16th of June for about 2 months, I think.
Yes, I've put you in. I just have to ask you if any of your family are coming.
I very much doubt it, but
Okay.
I'll check that out. That could, I didn't even think of that. Could be a good idea.
Yeah.
Righto. Now we get to our members spot, and I'd like to welcome this morning our 5-minute speaker, our secretary extraordinaire, Rhonda Buttrey.
Thank you, Charlie. I've been a member of SWAP since 1997, and I remained in SWAP until it folded. And I think I was at the very first get together when we started to try to get things going again. And now you see the result of what we're doing there. SWAP's been very good to me, and the relationships and the friendships we make in SWAP are really close to my heart. Professionally, my background has been, God, it's so long now. It's been, the longer you live, the more you've done, and it just is a bit mind-blowing when you stop back and think of it. My background has been in teaching and administration, and I tend to become secretary on a lot of things. I'm still running 2 part-time businesses, which are looking after me quite nicely, and most of my time is spent on volunteer organisations, which become very time-consuming. And Charlie, I didn't look at what time I started, so you'll have to flash me a finger at the end.
You have plenty of time. It's all right.
I've lived in most of Australia. I grew up in Sydney. When I married, we moved to Perth, and then we moved to Adelaide, and then to Melbourne, all in 1 year. Those last 3 were in 1 year. And then my husband decided to move back to Sydney, which certainly wasn't part of my plan. So I stuck it out for 2 years and then left and came to Queensland. My teenage kids decided to come with me, and we created a new home and a new situation. And I've stayed in Queensland. I really have no reason to go anywhere else. I quite like living in Melbourne, but I have no reason to go back there. Although my daughter moved back there some 16 years ago, and she's been in lockdown for most of the 2 years, but she did get to come up to visit us in April for my granddaughter's 18th birthday. It's just interesting looking back at how time changes over all those things. And it's really lovely being where I am. I've enjoyed every stage of my life. I've never wanted to be anywhere else than I was. And the perspective that comes with every different decade is just really valuable in its own self. A lot of you know Ron. I've been with Ron now for 21 years. We did keep company for 5 years before that. You can't rush into these things. But we have a pretty good life together, but he takes a bit more looking after now than he used to. He turned 80 in January. Wow. And he's a pretty good mate. And we have good families. Both of us have good families, and the kids are very supportive and get on very well. And if ever I think I've got 5 minutes to spare, somebody asks me to do something else. I'm very involved with the Astrology Association. I'm on the National Council and the State Council. SWAP keeps me pretty busy these days. There's something else I do, and I can't think what it is at the moment. I'm feeling a bit dull today. We've been in Rockhampton for a week, Sue Skinner and myself. We came for a very dear friend's wedding. And we must have been very busy before we came, because we had a big day Saturday and we were just totally knocked out Sunday.
Happens.
We're off on the train home today. So back on the Tilt train, which is a really good experience. So I've got to say that I've enjoyed my life, which doesn't mean there haven't been hardships. There have been some bloody difficult times. But I think what you learn from that is that you can survive and you go on, and nothing's going to knock you down because you survived the absolute worst. So I love being with SWAP, and I love being with swappers, and I'm really glad that we've got something together again with SWAP. So to those who decided they were going to get it going again, I give thanks, and I'm very pleased to have been able to be part of it. Thank you.
Excellent. We have a little bit of time up our sleeve. Has anybody got any questions for Rhonda?
So Rhonda, do you forgive me for nominating you for secretary for the new Global SWAP?
I'm still working on that one still.
A work in progress.
Any other questions? No? Well, that's good.
I see Greg Eldridge joined us.
Beg your pardon?
Thanks for remembering me, Colin Bockman.
Oh, have a look at this.
Greg's here. Hey.
All please stand and welcome Greg.
Shut up, Nichols.
Can I just add a comment?
Pardon?
Can I just remind everybody who's involved with this that we are a volunteer committee, and we do have other things happening in our lives, and we are a bunch of enthusiastic amateurs by and large. And sometimes we get a few criticisms that I feel are totally unjustified, because we are doing our best. And if sometimes there's a glitch, well, roll with the punches and we fix things as soon as we can.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that. Well, listen, Greg, while you're here, now that you are here, would you mind giving us your thought of the day? Because you just might win. And give us our membership report, Mr. Vice President.
I was going to give you a smart-ass retort there, Charlie, but I thought, no, we're a professional group. Good morning, everyone. Greg Eldridge from Melbourne. From a business point of view, I've got 3 companies we're building down here in Melbourne. Executive Business Machines, which is our traditional copier printer business. Executive Solutions, which is our cybersecurity cloud telephony business. And we've just launched Executive Air Solutions, which is our air purification and COVID combative air purification products. Great to be part of this group, and I thank Rhonda for her comments. We are voluntary, and sometimes we do have a hiccup. Our thought for the day, if it's going to be, it is up to me. Now, with regards to membership, we're working heavily on membership. I've shared the overview in the past of what you get for your membership. You get these 12 meetings during the year, and we are planning some physical, is that what we call them, Charlie? Physical meetings? I don't know what.
In person.
That turns me on, so that'll be fine.
Yeah, I know. You to use that terminology because it could mean anything, but the occasional physical meeting through the year. We are building a team to sort of give back to the membership base, or for the membership base to have access to. There's two positions which I feel are important going forward. One is the business director, and that's a person on the committee that has a great business acumen, an international business acumen, where you can have access for advice, direction if you want to do something overseas, if you want to do something within your business, or you're sort of stuck or you need a bit of a mentor. And the other one is a youth swap director, where we're committed to reintroduce youth swap down the East Coast. That's going to take a little bit of work to get done because there's a fair bit to do down the East Coast. So you've got access to those two individuals. The success of membership really falls back on the member base to invite people along, invite guests along. In the old days, it was dragging a person to a meeting and exposing them to the dynamics of the meeting, I suppose. We've moved to the online era, and I enjoy it. I think everybody is enjoying what we're putting together. So I'm putting it back on everybody to try and bring along a member, a guest, invite them to the meeting and expose them to what we're developing. Thanks, Sir Nichols.
Thank you, Mr. Glitch. Now, Martin Kennedy, would you like to introduce our very special guest speaker, please, mate?
Oh, sorry, miles away. Today, our guest speaker is Colin Bockman. Colin is a marketing guru. So we expect him to produce or tell us things that we've never heard before. How's that, Colin?
That'll do, Martin. That'll do.
So
okay.
It was interesting making contact with Colin because he got quite a shock. I don't think we've spoken for about 6 years. And out of the blue, I give him a telephone call and he goes, who, what, when, where? But nonetheless, he's risen to the occasion. I managed to twist his arm quite almost literally, but he did take up the challenge, and I know that he will be able to give us something that's more than worthwhile. And in fact, one way to describe it is more than money can buy. So, Colin, it's over to you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, just before we do that, I'm going to mute everybody. So, Colin, I need you to click on your little microphone and unmute yourself. I can pop up, if you click that button that just popped up that said unmute, if you say yes.
Yep.
Beautiful, beautiful. And
Okay,
now I'm
so
going
let's
to
go.
put up the screen you wanted. And then we'll be over to you.
Okay.
Let me just find which one it is. There it is.
Just need
Share.
to flash it up for a moment. And I'll go through it.
Okay, it's over to you now, Colin.
Okay, so all right, look, we just take that down a little while. Just that's about chemical, emotional, and physical, and these are the three things that are important about health. So I just want to be on the screen and not that anymore. So if you can take that off, please, and I'll just be on the screen. I'll come back to that with everybody as we go through it.
Okay, that's
thank
fine.
you. So what I'd like to talk about this morning is life as I see it. And over my years, I've been very business focused. And those of you know me, which goes back a long time, and Greg's there sort of doing a bit of work down there, looking up every now and then. And Greg will remember when we did the SWAP conference at the Hilton Hotel many, many moons ago, back in the 80s. And I came up with a bright idea. And the idea was that we would have the photographer go around and take photographs of all the people right throughout the convention, the whole thing, including all the prize winners and people getting their awards and so on. Of course, days were a little different those days in technology wise. So I had this bright idea that we'd take all these photographs, and they got a studio to open at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I went through into the studio, this guy, and he developed all the film and put it on the slides. I had a slide carousel, which I'd worked out exactly what timing it flicked around at an automatic to the words of "You are the best," so that when the slides came up with the winners, it was singing "You are the best." And that took me hours and hours to produce, which now, of course, you do with a computer, and it just flicked it all together. But that was innovative, and we played it at the end of the conference, and people didn't realize what was going on until about halfway through. Then they worked out that it was slides, and it was the people that were there, and it was lining up with who was simply the best, and they got all excited. And when it was finished, they went, "Yeah, that was great. We didn't see it all. Can we do it again?" Well, they didn't realize it took a while to set up the slides. So that's today's technology compared to years ago's technology. And I guess the reason I'm telling you that story is because my thing was always about being innovative, doing things differently, and doing the things others said you couldn't do. That's pretty much been my life. So people sometimes will say to me, "Well, what is your secret to your success," or whatever it might be? And I always say, well, you've got to look at the hierarchy in life. And you may not agree with what I talk about today. I hope you don't agree, because that's pretty lame if you agree with everything. And I will stumble across a couple of things and say some things that you may not like. And that's fine too, because I want to stimulate some thinking. But I came across a hierarchy of life some years ago, and I said the hierarchy of life is health, provider, father, husband, lover. And people say to me, "What do you mean?" Well, you've got to have a hierarchy. What's the hierarchy? What's the most important thing in life? And people say, well, it's money or it's whatever. But the most important thing in life is health. Without health, you have nothing. Now, my thing, the second one, was provider. And some people say, well, isn't it about you? No, it's about my responsibilities. If you remember last month, I said discipline and responsibility. That's me. That's my way. However, that's worked for me because being the provider is what I've had to be. And then, of course, being the father and the husband. Well, father and husband slipped around. I had a guy who I knew some time ago from Clark Rubber, the guy who owned it, and he actually sat down with me one day and we played and juggled with those and a couple of others he put in there as well, because we were trying to work out what is the hierarchy of life, what drives us. So my thing is health. Without health, you don't have anything. And I tried to analyze what it is about health, because the people in the world think the health is about medical, and nothing could be further from the truth. Medical profession is just a component of the health system. It's by no means the health system. So I thought, well, how do you break it down? You break it down into three groups: chemical, physical, and emotional. They're the three things that affect our life: chemical, physical, and emotional. And the emotional, the last one, is probably the biggest. And if I go back to what Alan Pease said the other week, 74% of statistics are made up. Well, I'm going to say 80% of the reason that people get sick is because of an emotional state. And it's based on all of these things that happen in their lives. So what I'd like to do is run through a little list with you, which was put up on the screen earlier. And thank you for that, Rhonda. But I actually have it like this. It's a little list like this, and it's typed out. It's that big, and it sits in my wallet. You can see how it's curved from being in my wallet. And I've got about a half a dozen of those sitting in my wallet at any time. I can tell you the guy who washes my car, he's got one stuck up alongside where the computer is, and other people have taken them away with them because they say, well, maybe there's some thought behind this that's value to me. So first thing is chemical, no medication. Oh, no, I said no. Swap's all about positives. Yes, I can do. Gee whiz, my registration of my car is I can. So it is about I can do, but sometimes it's about the reverse. So I'm not going to talk about the yeses, I'm going to talk about the no's. So these are all the no's. No medication. I take no medication. Pharmaceuticals are simply a symptom blocker, and that's all they should ever be used as. That's lucky me. Some people say, well, so far at 72, I still have no medication and don't intend to have any. My first stop is always the chiropractor to get my nervous system working properly if something's wrong. Next one is no smoking. I find that one interesting. The amount of people that smoke. There was a professional speaker around some years ago, whose name eludes me for the moment. I bet Catherine will remember him. And he used to say, you can't be intelligent and smoke at the same time. That's not quite true, because smoking is an addiction, but there's two forms of addiction. It's the form of addiction of smoking, And people say they're going to try and give up. Imagine that when you think about it. I'm going to try, which is optional, to give up, and nobody wants to give up anything. So it never succeeds. You have to decide to stop. But people can't decide to stop because there's something driving them to smoke, and it's usually covering something else up. So when you say that person is addicted and they should just give it up, it's not as simple as that. And I can tell you that because after being married for 34 years, my wife left me and took the house, the car, and the money, as they do. And then a couple of years later, I met my high school girlfriend, and we were married for 12 years, and she died in July of cancer because she wouldn't stop smoking. And she couldn't stop smoking because she was driving a car in 1984 with her husband on the side, on the left-hand side, and she drove, slid off the road when a truck pushed off the road. It cartwheeled and he died in the accident. She blamed herself forever. That's why she was smoking. So she died of cancer or lung cancer. So sometimes when you think about it, no smoking, there's more to it than just not smoking. No drugs. Hey, they call it recreational drugs. What a stupid thing to say. It's a drug. But recreational makes it okay. I've never taken any drugs. No getting drunk. Don't ruin your brains. No sugar. Wow. The amount of people in our world today that are affected by sugar, and it's destroying their lives. Just scary. No sugar. No soft drinks and sport drinks. They are sugar. No tap water. Why no tap water? Why would you want to drink fluoride? Why would you want to drink chlorine? Why would you want to do that? I mean, there's enough chemicals in all of the things that we've got in our life around us that we can't avoid. Why go and intentionally put some in your body? No fatty foods, no additional carbs, no chemical cleaners. Stay away from those. Gee, I remember being in the bathroom, cleaning my bath one time. I thought, what the heck am I doing? This is terrible. So I thought, better stop that. No fluoride toothpaste. I refuse to use fluoride toothpaste. That stuff's carcinogenic. Why would you put it in your teeth? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, yes, I do. I told my kids when they were growing up, the world revolves on greed and money. That's what drives the world. That's why fluoride's in the water. Not because it's best for us, not because it's good for us. So no toothpaste and no aluminium deodorant. Think about that. Our lymph nodes are under our arms, and so what do? We stick aluminium on there to see whether we can get into the pores of our body and go to our lymphatic system. Isn't that crazy what people do and what we do in our lives that we can intentionally not do? So to me, health's about chemicals. There's a lot more chemical things, but look at all the chemicals in our lives and look at our kids and what's going into them. All this, kids' behavior and so forth. I'm not convinced that it's not all the chemicals in their body. Not convinced. So next one is physical. No late nights. No, I don't have late nights. All-nighters and stuff like that. Why would you do that to your body? Less than 7 hours sleep. No overweight. Now, well, there's a big one. Let's just pause on that for a second. Our society has gone nuts on being overweight. Gone absolutely nuts on it. I mean, where's our American friend down here? Where's she gone? Where's on the screen? I've lost you. She's gone. Oh, sorry, there, Anne, there you're in the middle of the screen. I mean, when I first went to America, I couldn't get over it. We decided to buy one meal and divide it by 3. And we had plenty still left over. I couldn't get over it. And I still can't get over it until I realized that quite a lot of the people who are excess in weight is the problems between their ears. And that's why it's like that. So we've got to look at that as well. So, okay, then the notion of lack of exercise. And I do a quick walk. I go for about 6 Ks. I walk down to the beach. I live near the beach now. I go down to the beach. I walk up the steps. I go down again. I walk up the steps again. I come back. It takes about an hour and a quarter. I do 6 Ks. I'm usually pretty history by the time I get back. I do that at least 5 days every 7 days. Because you can't expect your body to function if you don't help it flow. So I don't understand why people don't do it. I'm too busy. I can't afford it. You can't be too busy to be healthy. So that's my thing. Chemicals, physical. Now let's get my favorite one, emotional. Because back to Alan Pease, I reckon it's about 90% of people's health issues are emotional. Here's one for you, no violent videos. I've never played a video game. I never intend to play a video game. And I certainly wouldn't watch a violent video. And I wouldn't play one. And I look at kids that are young, 8, 9 years old. I think, what are they doing to this? Destroying it. Destroying it. But that's our society. So no violent video games, no in-bed screen time. That's the magic part of your life. You go to bed with your partner, if you're fortunate to have one, right? You go to bed with your partner, and that's the magic time. You don't have screen time, because screen time then affects your brain before you go to sleep. Not such a good idea. No stress, if that's possible. My oldest son reckons he's got the stress thing sorted. Dad, if it's not life-threatening, it's not a big deal. And sometimes when I get all excited and enthusiastic about something and I get angry because it's not working, he says, Dad, is it life-threatening? I go, nah. He said, well, it's not a big deal. So he's helped me get my head around that, because stress is a killer. And when I was about in my 30s and I was sort of flat out, the kids were at private school and I had 4 cars in the family and a mortgage, and you know the story, I've all been there, done that. And I had all these pains in my knees and all kinds of things that happened to me. So I went off to a specialist to find out what was wrong, because it was obviously something medical, I thought maybe. And they said that I had, some horrible disease, and that I was never going to get rid of it. So they gave me some cortisone, which I took. Then I went back and he said, okay, well, you're going to be on this for life, because you're going to have this for life. And I said, no, I've got to work out what caused it. So I worked out what caused it and never come back. So it's about how you develop that an approach to your stress. So I'm pretty good at that now. I wasn't so good years ago. No mindset pain. Most people who have got pain, it's mindset pain. There's a guy in Adelaide called a professor in Adelaide, and Lorimer Moseley. If you ever Google Lorimer Moseley Adelaide and look what he talks about pain, pain is mostly between your ears. And that's another sad thing. I wasn't able to get Gay to understand that. So mindset pain, no mind baggage. Gee whiz, mind baggage. You can't change the past, you can only affect the future. I live by that. When Gay died on the 18th of July last year at 9:30 on Sunday morning, and I held her hand as she died. And then on Wednesday morning, I was at the Drain Man, one of my clients, and I was presenting to the guys. And they found out afterwards that Gay died on Sunday morning. I said, well, I can't change the past, I can only affect the future. I have a responsibility to be here. And it was her choice. And that's how life is. So is that cold? Is that, no, it's not. It's just understanding that I can take that mind baggage and I can do something with it and it can destroy my life. Or I can say, well, that was the choice and that was part of her evolution. So no ignoring intuition. Wow, that's a big one. People question themselves all the time with intuition. I am so much about my intuition. The universe will provide you with thoughts, provides you with intuition, it provides you with direction. People ignore it, they question it. I could give you about 6 stories of where I've taken my intuition and worked on it immediately and it's turned positively for me. So these are my no's. These are all no's. How can no's be good? No ignoring intuition, as I said, and no lack of love. Gee whiz, that's a big one. People struggle so much to show their love for each other and to be in love with each other and to understand what love is. And that surprises me because that destroys people internally. So that's scary. No lack of affection. Gee, I've just been told I better never go to the Middle East because I reckon I'd get into trouble if I was over there, a bit too affectionate. So, but no lack of affection. So with Gay, I used to walk around to her and I'd just give her a hug. Sometimes she would be sitting outside in the area that I built for her. And I'd go outside, I'd give her a hug, I'd give her a kiss, and I'd walk back inside and didn't say anything. Didn't need to. Because just when you feel affection, you should give affection. No gambling, never gamble. Oh, buy a lottery ticket. It's about the extent of my gambling. Now, I hope I'm not offending you, Anne, but no religion. I believe in spiritualism, I believe in the universe, but I don't believe in a book of rules. Because I found that too many people that I was working with over the years were destroyed by the book of rules because they didn't understand the book of rules. It wasn't really a book of rules, it was something else. So they get the wrong handle on it. So that's not because religion is wrong, it's because they get the wrong handle on it. No procrastination. I'm a do-it-now person. So much so that my boys will tell you it annoys the hell out of them because I'm a do-it-now person. Do it now, do it now, do it now. And I could give you a few examples where I did it now and it worked for me and it turns into something huge for me. Last thing is no excess of anything. And I guess that's the thing. No excess of anything. We're always trying to find out where we get our best thrills, where we get our best achievement, where we get our best, whatever it is in life. But if you go right back up to the first one, we talk about our chemicals and our physical and emotional. You know, what drives us and why we shouldn't need drugs or anything is that we all want to succeed in some form. That's what drives us. I mean, I can go and watch some under 8-year-old kids playing basketball and watch a kid get his first goal and he jumps up and down and I've got tears in my eyes. And people say, what's wrong with you? I say, well, the kid achieved. And if he keeps going like that through his life, he won't need any drugs. He won't need anything else, because that's the greatest thing, to love and be loved and to achieve. So people say to me, and you know, what do you do in business? Well, what I do in business, I'm a go-to-market strategist. I work out how to go to market. I work out how to do things and how to be different in the marketplace, and how to find ways of getting people to buy into concepts and understanding and all those sort of things. What do you enjoy most? I enjoy most helping people in their lives be what they want to be and be successful at whatever that is. And sometimes that's through a work environment, as in business generating dollars. Sometimes it's through their health. But I found the last 5 years, I've spent more time with people helping them understand their health from an external point of view and not from a medical point of view. Everybody goes to the doctor first. Wrong. Don't go to the doctor. Well, maybe go to get some sort of evaluation. But what you have to be in your health today is you have to be the ringmaster. You've got to look at all of the things that are available to you to keep you healthy, and you've got to be the ringmaster and take responsibility. The amount of people that go to the doctor, and how many times do you think I went to the doctor in the last 5 years with Gay, is enormous. Like, I became a full-time carer. And we went to the hospital, we went in amateurs going with sirens and so forth. And all I ever saw was one protocol, one way of looking at the person's health. And it just made me so aware it was so limited. Nobody ever looked at what was really happening and how it could be resolved. And so therefore, that person wasn't able to be open to that other than the outside. So I say in health, you've got to be your own ringmaster. You've got to work out your chemical, your physical, emotional. You've got to work out whether you use chiropractic care, whether you use other forms of care. You've got to make sure your body's right. So here I am at 72. I have no drugs, no medication, no nothing. I have nothing wrong with me. I haven't even had COVID yet. I haven't had the excitement of that yet. So that's how I am. And I find that helps me become able to do things that I need to do. I certainly don't want to ever get sick, so I don't know what it would be like. So I reckon I'd probably be the weakest of all weak ones when I got sick, because I tell you what, if I cut my finger, I'm in trouble. So that's just my thoughts. I hope those thoughts have been stimulating to you this morning. I didn't want to upset you, turn the world upside down, and just take a different approach. Chemical, physical, emotional, that to me is the core of health. Health is the beginning of life. It's what it's all about. Then you have to love and be loved. And I reckon then you've pretty much got it. So I reckon that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And I'm pretty much done. Hope it was helpful to you. If you want one of these, just send me an email, colin@bockman.com.au, and I'll send it to you. You can put it in your wallet. Okay, what do you do next? Catherine says, I don't know. Hey, I've been with a lot of Italian people recently. I'm learning to do rock and roll dancing. A lot of Italians. Love them, love them. Okay.
Sorry, I did not realise I was muted. So if you wish to speak, please unmute yourself. But we've got plenty of time left. So if anybody's got any questions of Colin, please ask them now.
Did you say you were doing rock and roll dancing, Colin?
I'm about to start to learn. Private lessons start on Thursday night for about however many weeks I'm going to have to need, probably a lifetime. But yes, that's what I'm doing.
With your two left feet.
No, not too bad. No, not too bad. I just make a fool of myself. That's the problem. But I'm going to learn. So I found a lady who that I'm going out with now, and she's in a rock and roll dancing, and I have a philosophy that whatever is the other person's interest, you take interest in that. So now I'm going to learn to rock and roll dance.
Good to see you again, my friend.
Thank you. She also watches Neighbours. I think it's called Neighbours, or what's it called? What's that show at 7 o'clock on Channel 7? I don't know.
Home and Away.
Home and Away. She watches Home and Away. So guess what? I was watching Home and Away last night, so I can talk to her about it. Take interest in other people's, what other people are interested in, and that's easy how you make communication work.
I have a quick comment on Do It Now. I'm a great believer in using Do It Now as an affirmation, and I'm also 72, and I've noticed that if I think of doing something, and if I don't do it immediately, then it doesn't get done. But my challenge now is every time I think of doing something, I think, well, I'm going to do it now so that I don't forget it. But then when I've done it, I can't remember what I was doing prior to.
I haven't got to that stage yet, Charlie. I must confess, there's every now and then I think, gee whiz, I was a bit sharper than that before. I used to be a bit sharper than that. I'm not quite as sharp as I was. When I was facilitating conferences, and I'd have hundreds of people in the room, and they'd give me scenarios, and I had to come up with the top of mind answer in an instant. I was pretty sharp at that now. I don't know that I put myself in that position all the time now, because it's not quite as sharp, quite as quick. It still comes, but it's just, I've got a bigger filing cabinet now. I'm going to go through that drawer and pull that one out of the brain. And I think that's my excuse. The filing cabinet's got more information in it, so it takes longer to search.
I think it's absolutely valid. And I'm trying to find, I've got a whole team of analog filing people up there, and I need to convert it to digital. And it's kind of like getting to the random access. That's the hard bit, Colin, when we've spent, like we 1949ers, if there are any others, that we've got that analog system installed.
And I am a resistor of technology, and I admit that. I have the computer, and I do it as much as I have to. I pay people to do that stuff. So this Zoom, for instance, today, if I was doing that for a client, I'd have a Zoom operator. I don't do it myself. They put everything up, take everything down. So I recognize my limitations. One of my friends who I'm pretty close to gets annoyed with me. I say, well, I'm hoping that I can get by without having to get too deep into the technology. I also do a lot of work in the automotive industry, which is technology driven, totally technology driven. In fact, your cars have got excessive technology in them, way more than they need, but they do that to make it more difficult for aftermarket to work on them. That's another story. So, but I work with people on how to manage their use of the technology and how to communicate that to the customer. Because as we become more technology driven today, so our ability to communicate is becoming less, because we're using the technology too much. We're not using the personalities as much. So that once again gets into what drives people, gets into once these health things again, people get screwed up, spending too much time not talking to each other face to face, too much time sending text messages, emails. People send an email to the person in the office alongside them instead of putting their head around the door and talking to them. And so they lose a lot of those skills. And so then they get tense, then they get upset, and then they get unhealthy. So it all comes back in the big circle. But people talk to people, and people buy people, then they buy products and services. It's always going to be that. Catherine.
Can I ask, who or what do you think has been the greatest influence on you? I mean, I'm devastated to hear of your loss, Colin. I didn't know that. That must have been so difficult for you. And now you're in the moment, you're present, you're here. So who or what has been something that has created some wisdom in you over the years?
I don't know if it's one person or as such. The person who influenced me the most when I started in this business was Paul Dunn, because I followed a lot of what he did, and he helped me. Actually came to my home one time, which I thought like, oh my goodness, and Paul helped me and got me started on thinking in a certain way. I think then from then on I went there. I'm a fairly insular person. I don't, as you know, I don't mix a lot with all the people in the speaking business and so forth. So my closest friend calls me an island, because I don't tend to mix as much as I probably should. So I guess I internalize a lot. I have good analysis and analytical skills, so I quickly sort out what's relevant and what's not. A guy wrote in 1979 that he thought, wrote about me for a testimonial that he felt that I had the analytical skills to quickly analyze that was relevant above, people who were twice my age. Now, it doesn't say I'm working on water, not getting my ankles wet. I'm just saying that I think is it. I quickly work out what's relevant, what's not. So I tend to do it myself a lot. But I do look to other people for inspiration. But on the other hand, and I'll be brutally honest with you, I struggle with people who have been similar to me and have achieved more than me. I actually feel somewhat intimidated. A great friend of mine in Adelaide called Bob Ford was a fabulous guy, made millions and just the best, most beautiful human being you could ever meet. And when my wife left me, my first wife left me, and I was pretty devastated because I've lost the Holy Grail. Husband, wife, children, Holy Grail, cannot be replaced. He spoke to me on the phone. He said, "I'll see you tomorrow." I said, "Yeah, but you're in Adelaide." He said, "I'll come over and see you." He got a plane and come over and saw me. And that's the sort of guy Bob Ford was. And one time he said to me, "Bocky," he always called me Bocky. He said, "Bocky, you don't ring me that often." I said, "Well, I do. I ring you from time to time." He said, "You don't ring me that often." I said, "Well, it's very difficult. I come to your home down at West Beach, and you've got this home with all the Jaguars. I got a Jaguar now, and all the Jaguars, all the things, And I said, "I'm intimidated by your success." He said, "You shouldn't be." He said, "Because what you taught me and what you do with me helped me be successful." And I went, so all of a sudden that changed for me. So yeah, Catherine, that's where I'm at. I'm not so bad with it now. My close friend who I do some work with now, he's semi-retired, he's worth millions, but I'm not intimidated by that anymore. So I guess that's a growth thing. Yeah, I don't have millions. It's all gone, but I got it back. So,
your currency is not money. Your currency is love and wisdom.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, and I have a great capacity for that, which I'm proud of. And that's from my mum. Gee whiz, people today, when you look at them, first question I ask now, what was your childhood like? Pretty much, you got it in the childhood thing. It's so scary. The amount of women that I've found that were abused when they were children, scary. Wasn't talked about in those days. The effect it has on them, scary. Hard to turn around, hard to change that mental matrix. By the way, do any of you know Peter? Here we got it here. Peter Stapleton.
Yes.
Dr. Peter Stapleton.
Bond University.
Bond
She's
University.
An amazing woman.
Amazing woman. Yep. And she's nailed how to explain EFT.
Yeah.
Which is the mind matrix. Yeah, the mind matrix, and that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And that's something that, once again, outside the health system. And of course, it'll never be recognized because it can't be patented. Don't forget, the medical profession only works on one basis. If it can't be patented or controlled, they're not involved. No matter if it works or not, it's irrelevant. Right? So that's why you can't rely on them. You've got to be your own ringmaster, as I call it. Anybody else want to make a comment?
Colin, who is that you were just talking about from Bond University? What's her name?
Dr. Peter, P-E-T-A, Stapleton. Just Google Dr. Peter Stapleton, Bond University, and it'll come up. And she has got the best explanation. There's a TEDx talk. Watch her TEDx talk, and she's got the best explanation on EFT. I call it the gold standard for EFT explanation. And that works. And I've done it. And it changes your mental matrix permanently. Great.
Excellent.
Colin, did you go to the United States for a time?
Did I go as in work?
Yeah.
No, I've traveled to the United States a couple of times. I've never worked there. I did some work. I did a series of tech presentations in Canada and America.
All right, because I seem to remember trying to get you to speak at professional speakers, and you were overseas at the time in America. You'd gone to America for a while.
Could have been. Yeah, could have been. Yeah. I tried not to go to America very much. I tried to work in Australia and New Zealand mainly because I wanted to stay home with my family, but that didn't work. I was still traveling at least 6 months a year, as you know what it's like as a professional speaker. So it kind of worked. And one of my sons says that, "Dad, you were fantastic. You did everything you should have done. and the other one says you didn't spend enough time with us. So, yeah. Can you get it right? No. But the one that reckons I didn't spend enough time was happy that I paid all his university fees and gave him a car for his birthday and sent him overseas and did those things. That was right. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you, Colin. I'd like to call on Jenny Cartwright. Would you mind thanking our speaker?
Yeah, Colin, thank you very much for giving your time to remind us of all the important things in life. There were some really good comments there that I've jotted down to remind myself. You can't be too busy to be healthy, but I'm usually pretty healthy, but a bit of a change today. And most pain is mindset pain, and that was interesting because there's an interesting angle on it. And I think if we have a look at some of the things, if we've had pain around something, it possibly is mindset. So that was an interesting angle to take. And we want to, most of all, we want to succeed. I was reminded of that with my son on Sunday, who absolutely has to win. And he plays this game called paddle tennis, and he puts a lot of time and effort in. And I don't know whether you know what paddle tennis is. It's a very unusual sport. It's played a lot in Europe, but not in Australia anyway. He won the championships and he's Australia's best paddle tennis player. So his joy, his excitement, he rang us up to tell us a blow by blow, point by point report on the match. So people do want to succeed, and they want to succeed in love as well. And you certainly have to be your own ringmaster in health. That's for sure. I think the only time I ever go to the doctor is when I know what's wrong with me and I just need something, a script or something that I need for something specific. So, you know what your own health is. You know what, apart from COVID, that's a very strange thing that COVID is determined to catch everyone. I think I've lasted this long. Now it's come to me. So I don't know that you can help getting things like COVID. It's just, I don't know where on earth I got it either. So anyway, it was a very interesting talk, very good reminder for all of us, and some good points, a real swap talk. So thank you very much, Colin.
Thank you. Thank you, Colin. I really enjoyed that. Our next meeting is Tuesday, the 2nd of June, and I'd like to call on Martin to tell us who our speaker is for our next meeting.
I've been successful in obtaining a speaker that probably only Greg will know, but if you do, Fiona Spedding. Fiona is a happiness hunter. She provides mindset set coaching, consulting, speaking and facilitation through a variety of programs and services. And she will give us some direction, enhance mindset, leave it, would you? Prioritize well-being, improve your relationship, and feel confident in decision-making. I won't say too much more, otherwise I'll steal all of her thunder. So make sure you've put that in your diary and invite other people as well. Okay. Yeah, that's important.
All right. Thanks for that, Martin. And just to give you a bit of a heads up, the meeting after that, the July meeting, we're going to be having National Salesperson's Day on July the 5th. All right. So get ready for that, and would really appreciate if you invited as many guests as possible to that meeting. So we're getting ready to close the meeting. And we're going to close it as we normally do with I'm alive, I'm well, and I feel great. And as Anne has already practiced, so we'll get Anne to lead us off again. Thanks,
Okay,
Anne.
here we go. I'm alive. I'm well. I feel great. I'm alive. I'm well.
I'm well. I feel great.
I feel great.
So, Oh, excellent. Thank you, folks. So that brings us to the close of the meeting. Thanks everybody for contributing this morning. I loved our thoughts of the day. Loved our 5-minute speaker, Colin. That was exceptional. I got some real out of it. So hang around if you want to have a little networking. We'll we'll turn the meeting off or leave the meeting when everybody is all left. So thanks, folks. We'll see you next month.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye,
Bye,
everyone.
Charlie.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Okay.
Thanks, Colin.
I have to leave
Charlie, just
now.
need to-
I'm going to change over to you, Charlie, to be in charge. So when you finish, just end meeting and end it for all, and everything will be hunky-dory.
Excellent. Thank you.
Bye, Rhonda.
Congratulations on
Bye,
finishing
everybody.
on time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Have a good
Charlie,
day.
stay
See you later,
on.
Wal. Bye for now.
Yeah.
Stay on, Charlie, please.
See how to get
Yeah.
out of here.
Still here.
I just thought I'd mention that I've contacted Fran Fisher, and
Oh, yeah.
remember I was saying I'm not sure whether Andrew lives in England or in Australia, but he is in Australia and he travels a fair bit. And I just wondered if he's available, are you going to do a 5 or 10 minutes spot for National Salesperson's Day?
We will be.
Did you have in mind of any particular type of person that you wanted?
Well, traditionally, it is a spot for a member.
Oh, okay. Okay.
However, we're open to do whatever we need to do.
Okay. Well, let me know or have a chat with me at another time and see how you go with that.
While I've got Rod still here,
Yeah.
Rod, would you like to be our 5-minute speaker next month?
I would, but unfortunately, Charlie, Ray and I are going up north in our caravan, and I'm not sure whether I'll have any internet coverage on that day. So don't put me down.
All right, I just thought it was an opportunity for me to get you to join as a member.
Send me an invoice. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll do it at another time then.
Yeah. Put me down because I've got plenty of interesting stuff to say.
I know. Well, possibly July, August.
Yep, sounds good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that was a pretty good meeting this morning.
It was a great meeting, Charlie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Good work, Mark, in securing our Colin, because that level of speaker really helps us attract new members to the group. So good work on that one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Reminder, I thought, a great reminder. I thought I was just surprised that he wasn't into technology. As most of you know, that I love my gadgets. But then in the same instance, Sandra isn't interested in any technology at all, except texting, and we'll be in the same room and she'll text me.
I heard she's not even interested in you, Charlie.
And the reason she texts me is because she wants a written record of what she's told me. So I think she used knowledge for evil.
I'm going to buy that woman some more flowers, I think.
Why? Flowers die. I'd rather buy her a tree.
What she goes through.
She'd probably rather you buy her a tree too.
Loves the garden. She's out there every day in that garden.
All right.
I've got to go, guys. I've got another appointment. So I'll see you later. I'll see you next. We've got a meeting sometime.
Yes, next Wednesday.
Tomorrow? Or what, next week?
Something or other. I haven't looked at my plan.
Yeah, I think it's next week. All right. I'll talk to you then, everybody. It was a great meeting. Lovely to see you all.
Yes.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Good speaker, really good speaker. All right.
Yeah, you did a great job there, Martin, getting Colin.
Thank you very
and
much.
And how you? We don't see much of you.
Who are you
Right.
talking to?
Hey, me?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I said, you've been, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I said, you've been, and Raywin, we don't see all that much of you.
Yeah, no, we're about, and I follow, because I follow you on Facebook and I see what you're doing on Facebook. You must see what I'm doing on Facebook, do you?
Yep, usually.
Yeah. So we live a pretty good lifestyle, actually, Charlie. As you know, I've shifted over to the beach, retired at the beach. We do Airbnb, but not lately because of COVID. So we shut it down for a while. But I've developed a little I've been working on a project. I developed a hitch post to stop people stealing caravans and trailers and whatever. So that keeps me busy. And I mentor a few other people around this area. They've got small businesses. And yeah, I'm always busy, mate. I'm so busy, I need to employ somebody.
It got to Barry at all.
Yeah, I did. And I rang him up for his birthday because his birthday's on April Fool's Day. Yeah, he's busy. He's had a few little things like new knee and new wrist and, worn out a few parts. But yeah, no, he's good. He's good. He worked on, because when we sold the business, I retired at 62, but he worked on till another 10 years after that. Yeah. And unfortunately, the guy who bought the business off us, which was our production manager, the poor business burnt down last year, burnt to the ground. So he's struggling to get it back up and running again. Yeah.
It was a good business.
Yeah, it was. It was. And I mean, that's one of the thrills of selling a business, to know that it keeps going and keeps going profitably for a long period of time. So the systems were in place and he was able to just carry on.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, I'm ready.
You can go and have your breakfast now. Sun should be coming up, is it?
Yes, it is. The sun is coming up. I'm just having a look outside at the lake here. Would you like me to walk out and show you the lake?
Yeah, I would.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, show us.
Hold on, I'm just picking up the... I'm getting old myself. There we go.
Why do you like this cup? Hang on, let's see.
Yeah.
Fully imported. A friend of mine went to New Zealand and brought that back for me.
Charlie, you got to turn off. Charlie, you got to turn off your background.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Just hold on.
Yeah, turn the background image off.
Hold on, I gotta find it.
I thought you're a techo guy.
Yeah, I found it now. I'm just turning it off. None. Righto.
Yeah, now we can see.
Can you see? Oh
yeah.
Not so fast. Not so fast.
Yeah, there's the cat. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Charlie, let me ask you this. So when it rains heavy, does the level come up?
In actual fact, over a 12-month period, it goes up and down by 12 to 15 meters. Meters, because this in actual fact is a reservoir. This used to be a whole village underneath that water, and they flooded it so they had water for the rice paddies. So as you can see, all that green there, see all that green in front of you?
Yeah.
In about 2 months or 3 months, 2 months time, that will be all water.
Right.
It does look like it's a lot less than when we were there a couple of years ago. You can see more ground through the water.
Yeah. So that's, as a matter of fact, only in the last couple of days, we believe it's turned. The water's going to start flowing back in again. We just got to wait for it to come down from the mountains, right?
So let me ask you, is global warming starting to affect the environment?
Over here it is, yes, because we kept getting, we got rain when we wouldn't normally have rain, which really surprised us. So we're just hanging around now wondering what's going to happen this year. But the water hasn't gone down anywhere as much as it did in previous years. So it's turning earlier than normal, but we've had a lot more rain as well during the year. Normally we have two seasons, really: the rainy season and the non-rainy season. So we just seem to have a lot more rain during the non-rainy season. We normally have one set of rain before the rainy season. They call it the mango rains, because the rains come to help the mangoes grow, and then it stops again for a couple of months, but it didn't stop.
Yeah.
We've got global warming, whether we like it or not. And those that say we haven't got global warming, well, good. But we have it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's in fact affecting all environments in New Zealand. We've got the problem with sea level rise because, you know, we're an island.
Yeah.
And the big debate at the moment is who pays for the mitigation? Is it the government? Is it the council? Is it an insurance company? Or is it the owner? And people who live on the coast are starting to find their front lawns getting washed away. So,
well, you'll find that the insurance companies will just change their rules and won't want to pay because they know it's coming.
Yeah, but the big debate at the moment is, should the government force them to pay some of the mitigation, right?
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah. All right, folks.
We don't have enough. The problem is we don't have enough intelligence, and greed is the driving factor for us to actually do anything about global warming. We could all fix it tomorrow if we wanted to, if the desire was there.
We need a union rep.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's up to us. It's up to every individual. But the problem is greed takes over. As soon as the government tries to do anything, everybody screams their lungs out. It's going to affect me. It's going to affect me. Well, of course it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's the wrong way. All right, folks.
All right, mate.
Okay.
Have a good life.
Bye, Rod.
Bye.
See you later, Charlie.
Merry Christmas, all.
Yeah.
Bye.